Hi, good morning, everyone. So, the topic is bringing affordability in UPI with EMI. Okay, so you must be using your credit card in your day-to-day lives to convert transactions into EMI. May I ask from the audience for generally for which all transactions you use EMI feature in order to convert your purchases into EMI? Anyone from the audience? Consumer durable like phones, laptops, fridge, fridge, washing machine, etc. Right? Flight tickets as well. Thank you. Anyone else? Okay. Okay, gym membership. Nice. Okay, I have a character here. His name is Rohan Mehta. He is sales executive at a motorcycle showroom. Okay, he just got promoted. He's giving a treat to his colleagues and friends in a restaurant, and the poor guy just made a bill of 50,000. Okay, now he's in dilemma how he pays this amount. Okay, so in order to solve this pain point that he cannot afford that 50,000 during that moment of time, UPI brings EMI on UPI, which can help people like this to convert transactions like your restaurant bill, your hotel booking, your even flight booking, and even your groceries purchases as well, which you make in a month, which can go up to 10,000 to 15,000 for a large family. Those all transactions you can also convert into EMI using UPI EMI feature at the time of purchase itself. So that kind of flexibility UPI EMI brings in credit card EMI product along with UPI. So I'll just discuss the pain points and the benefit with which user can take the advantage of EMI on UPI. So as I discussed in the previous slide as well, customer has challenges to convert large occasional purchases into EMI. That can be solved using UPI. And again, areas with limited banking infrastructure, customers struggle to access EMI because in offline stores, mainly the EMI facility is available on the POS machine, right? Now, with UPI on EMI, it comes on QR, which is much cheaper in cost of the POS when I compare it with the POS machine. Okay, POS machine costs somewhere around 15,000 and UPI QR costs somewhere around 50 rupees to 100 rupees. That level of cost effectiveness comes for the merchants as well. And for the bankers, operational requirement for maintenance and to provide a vast network of POS machines also goes away with EMI on UPI. So these are the pain points and the benefits with which EMI on UPI can help customers, bankers, and even merchants as well. Now coming to two modes which we provide or with which customer can take advantage in UPI credit card EMI are basically one, during financial transaction. Now before jumping to what we are offering in credit card on UPI EMI feature, I'll discuss about how this during financial transaction EMI happens in card world. So in card world, this is basically a bilateral between issuer bank and the aggregator or merchant or a brand. Okay. Now the aggregator or the merchant provides the visibility of EMI to the customer on their platform through the online app or through the store guide. Store guide comes and tells you that, hey, you have a EMI offer for the purchase of iPhone 14, 15, etc. Okay, then you get to know, okay, I have a EMI option. Okay, and again here then your EMI is also not getting converted real time in the card EMI, right? The EMI gets converted after 3-4 days. The reason for that is the aggregator supplies the EMI files to the issuer bank for the conversion of EMI. Hence, it takes 3-4 days for the conversion to happen. Okay. But with UPI on EMI on UPI feature, we have two models. Okay, one is issuer driven model and the existing product or merchant driven model. Okay, now with issuer driven model, what we are trying to bring here is we are empowering the issuer bank to populate the EMI plans on UPI app real time, and so that the customer can make the selection of the preferred EMI plan and convert their transaction at the time of purchase itself into EMI. Okay, so it comes with both issuer driven and brand or merchant funded scenarios. So basically in issuer driven EMI, what happens is the EMI plans are directly fetched. I'll show you the video for your better understanding so that you get the visual understanding of how it basically happens for the user. So in issuer driven EMI plans are basically fetched from the issuer bank and gets populated on the UPI app. From there, user makes the selection of the preferred EMI plans and then enter UPI pin, and the transaction and along with the EMI conversion happens real time. Okay. Now the post-transaction EMI. Now post-transaction EMI is similar to the post-transaction EMI which is being facilitated by the issuer bank in the mobile banking app. In this case, the post-transaction EMI will also be facilitated in the UPI apps as well, from the where, let's say, suppose I have done some transaction using my Bheem app, and from Bheem app, I go after 3-4 days, I go onto my Bheem app and go onto history page and select the transaction which I want to convert into EMI. Upon selecting, the app will ask me whether I want to convert this transaction into EMI. When I click on that EMI button, EMI plans will fetched from the issuer bank real time, and then user can make the selection of EMI plans, and upon entering UPI pin, EMI will be converted real time. Because all the communication between the app and the issuer bank is happening with the medium of API real time. And once the transaction is completed through our settlement file, NPCI itself provides the EMI files to the issuer bank for the reconciliation purpose, so that they can reconcile which all transactions were converted into EMI and which all transactions were failed. So moving to the video, here Arvind will explain first the post-transaction EMI and later the during financial transaction EMI. Over to you, Arvind.
Okay. So customers select the transaction from the transaction history, click on the convert to EMI option. So then the API will trigger and it will fetch from the issuer the EMI plans. As per the preferences, customers again select the EMI plan and click on the convert to EMI. Post that, user enters the PIN and the transaction are successfully converted into the EMI. This is a simple journey. Within 6 clicks, the transaction will convert it successfully in EMI.
So here you can see the plans got fetched from the issuer bank. User saw the EMI plans on the UPI app and he made a preferred EMI plan selection, and upon doing that he entered UPI pin and EMI got converted just like that, real time.
So next is during transaction also, user or customer can select the EMI option and complete the transaction. So we are ahead. User can scan the QR, enter the amount, and check the eligibility of the EMI. Then API will trigger to the issuers or acquirer and fetch the plans. Accordingly, user can select the EMI plan, click on that to proceed, enters the PIN, and the transaction will successful and amount will be debited from the customer accounts. And the EMI will successfully converted. So transaction.
So in this journey, you saw that how seamless it is for the user, but in the back end, multiple APIs are getting triggered in order to facilitate this feature to the user. So what happens is, I just gave you an example of restaurant bill. Rohan went to a restaurant, he made a bill of 50,000. What he will do, he will scan a QR, and upon scanning QR, he will get an option of convert to EMI if he selects a credit card bank in order to make the debit. Upon clicking on convert to EMI option, EMI plans will be fetched from the issuer bank real time and it will be displayed to the user on UPI app. From there, user will make the selection of preferred EMI plan and enter UPI pin. Now in the for the user, it is a one transaction, but in the back end, 2 transactions are happening. First, the financial transaction is happening, through which the full amount is getting debited from the customer's account and getting credited to the merchant's account. And once the financial transaction is successful, EMI API is getting triggered, through which the EMI plan which user has selected is getting communicated to the issuer bank, basis which issuer bank makes the adjustment in the credit line of or credit card limit of the customers. Okay. So we have just explained this. Next is foreclosure. In foreclosure, basically what happens if you have already converted any transaction into EMI using UPI feature, then all these transactions will reflect in active EMI section within your UPI app. Okay, in that UPI app, within that active section, you can select the transactions which you want to foreclose also. If we want to foreclose, let's say suppose I have taken a EMI plan of 6 months, but I want to foreclose it after 4 months only. Okay, then I have an option. I will go into active EMI section. I'll select the transaction which I want to convert in foreclose, and upon clicking on it, API will get triggered to the issuer bank. Issuer bank will populate the penalty amount, foreclose amount, and interest amount, and same will get displayed to the user on UPI app. If the user is okay with all these details, he will confirm and enter UPI PIN, and foreclosure will also happen real time. So now coming to the opportunity for customers.
Adarsh, before we move to the other part, I think the main point here what Adarsh is trying to say, what is EMI? So if you look at currently, the EMI is very limited, and if you look at the pain points of EMI is equals to one specific credit card, EMI is equals to one specific merchant, EMI is equals to one kind of service provider which has a POS enablement, and EMI is also equals to the lot of integration behind it, right? That's what the EMI means. And for a customer, right? Right now, this was available only till the majorly into the e-com side, wherein you might be saying, you purchase this, I'll get 10,000 rupees off and all that thing. Right now, what UPI is trying to bring on the table is the affordability. What does it mean? In India, there are a lot of people who don't want to use credit card, but still want EMI. Do you agree on this? And I think that's the major chunk, because as a country, we are very, very, we don't want to use credit card, we don't want to give any interest, but at the same time, I want that I will not give this amount in full go. I want to use it, convert it into 20 EMIs, right? And I think that's the beauty. Just imagine if Saurabh is purchasing 50,000 rupees of worth of something, and I just want to pay with my saving account, nothing else. Then a customer is having three things. He may choose that, yes, do I have EMI availability available with me? Then I'll decide. So this is pre part of it, right? During transaction, you can also choose. Post transaction, you have the options that, yes, I have this saving account, I have this credit account, I have two credit accounts, who is giving me better deal? And this is not the end of it. What we are trying to bring, there are a lot of merchant, subventions which is coming into picture now. So this will bring a lot of things to the benefit of the user. What does it mean? If merchant wants to give some specific thing to Adarsh, not to Saurabh. We are going little more deeper here, so please give some attention here. Right now, you get EMI which is open for all. If I'm not wrong, if you have a platinum card and if you have a SDFC card, for example, right, you will get that EMI option available, and that is for Saurabh, Adarsh, Arvind, everyone. What we are also trying to crack, and which is after this session we are going to reveal, that this will also give a very, very particularly that Saurabh may have a different deal versus Arvind versus Adarsh. So personalization or a hyper personalization into the EMI, and this brings the EMI spread part of it. And I think now, Adarsh, you can take it on the other pain point. I have not, I've taken a couple of EMIs, but I always struggles to close that EMI. Because till the time it is not available on my phone, on my app, that I can do it anytime. And that too not dependent on the issuer app or merchant app or all that thing, any UPI app, can I do this? I think that's what we are trying to bring. Yeah, Adarsh.
Yeah. As Saurav rightly mentioned, that we are trying to solve a lot of issues here in terms of customer benefit, in terms of banks benefit, and in terms of merchant benefit. So when the transaction gets converted into EMI, it's a win-win situation for all three parties. For customer, the affordability of purchasing that product is getting increased. For the merchant, his product is getting sealed. And for the banks, more and more number of transactions which gets converted into EMI, it's an opportunity for the banks to earn interest over it. And also for the banks, high value of transactions are coming, which are getting converted into EMI, hence increased opportunity to earn more interest. So it's a win-win situation for all three parties, okay? And it serves as a test bed for the issuer bank to check the credit capacity of that particular customer. So if the customer is converting more and more number of transactions and on time he's paying all his bills, it means that the customer has more capacity to get more credit. Okay. So as Saurav rightly mentioned, it is not just about how issuer is populating the EMI plans and it is getting displayed on the UPI app. It is about how merchant or the acquiring entity can also populate the subvented or a no-cost EMI or a discounted EMI as well, real time, which can be displayed to the user on UPI app. So as till now, I have discussed about issuer-driven EMI. As you can see on the screen, there are APIs written through which the check happens and through select API, the conversion happens. But for the merchant-driven scenario, the EMI plans resides with the aggregator or the acquiring bank. Now, in that case, the plans, the reason why the plans are residing there is because the aggregator does few things like SKU management and as well as the display of EMI plans on their platform. Like on merchant app, if the plans are not displayed, then the user will not be knowing that for this product, the EMI can be availed, right? These all details are there. Hence, EMI plans are residing with the acquiring bank or the aggregator, which can be fetched using the API which we have created. And through this API, not only your one account offers will come. All the linked credit card accounts which are there in your phone, the offers will come for all those credit cards. Let's say suppose I have linked HDFC and Bank of Baroda credit card in my Bheem app. When I choose for convert to EMI, then merchant or the acquiring bank of that merchant will populate the offers, different offers which is being offered for HDFC Bank as well as Bank of Baroda credit card. Okay, then in that case, what will happen? User will have option to choose the best offer which he wants to opt for and proceed with the EMI conversion. In order for the bank to do and operationalize this EMI on UPI feature, bank has to do certain things which are listed down here. UPI and bank apps to certify on EMI API with NPCI, and banks to keep the EMI plans configured at their switch so that when the API hits, the EMI plans can be fetched real time and displayed on the UPI app. Issuer banks to consume files supplied by the NPCI for the reconciliation purpose. Issuer banks to configure differential EMI plans. Now I'll speak 2 minutes on this. So right now you are in the card EMI, the merchant EMI and the product specific EMI is being completely run by the aggregator and the issuer bank where they have bilaterals, right? Now we can bring, or issuer can take advantage of this issuer driven model, which basically empowers the issuer bank and bring all the merchant EMIs, which are basically merchant specific or the amount specific EMIs on their platform and save lot of cost. Okay, so what they can do is whenever customer scans a QR, and upon scanning a QR, EMI API will trigger to the issuer bank, and for issuer bank just need to identify basis the pay UPI ID, which is a unique identifier for the merchant. Basis that they can identify whether for this merchant they are offering any special plans or no cost EMI above certain amount. Let's say suppose more for purchase of amount more than 5,000, there is a special discount for that particular customer for on transacting on that particular merchant. Then those plans can be populated by the issuer bank directly, and same can be displayed on the UPI app. So using the issuer driven model, issuer bank can also leverage the merchant EMI, where it is merchant and amount specific EMIs, which is being currently offered using bilaterals. They can run it on their own, wherein the subvention can come from the merchant. Okay. Then upon certification, approval will be given given by the NPCI, and once approval is given, go live for operational initiation of the EMI can be done by the issuer bank and the UPI app. Thank you. Any questions? Yeah, yes, sir.
We are an NBFC. We power roughly lot of sub 2,000 rupee EMI transactions today, largely in fashion and wearable category, headphones and smartwatches. What I'm curious is how NBFCs, when do you see NBFCs getting an opportunity to participate in this ecosystem?
Sir, as of now, credit card and credit line products are only allowed, and these products being offered by the banks are only allowed. We are trying, sir. Soon you will offer good news if everything goes well. We'll let you know on that piece. As of now, it is for credit card and credit line product being offered by the banks.
One more question, please.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hi.
Yeah.
My question is two-part. One is, how do you see the product affecting the entire ecosystem while we move from a cash-heavy to a credit-heavy ecosystem? And also, is this product, is it safe to say the NPCI's version of BNPL on UPI? Is this product safe to say the NPCI's version of BNPL on UPI?
Not exactly. When BNPL comes, see here, this product is basically for the customer where the credit card or credit line is already there. BNPL is a product wherein customer is on the fly, he is getting credit card or credit line issued, and along with issuance of credit card or credit line, he's converting that transaction into EMI as well. So that is completely different. But yeah, that is also in our roadmap. We will also, once that issuance part is there, we can merge these two journey and it will be seamless for the customer. As of now, it is not there. It is only for credit card and credit line, which is already issued for the customer. We can take one more question. Yeah.
Thanks, Adarsh and Saurabh, for the insightful session. I think in the current scheme of things, the payment aggregators are well incentivized to push transactions towards EMIs, and that's how the entire setup works, and they influence customer heavily. Like in this schema of things, what is it for the payment aggregators, both like offline and online payment aggregators?
It is there, sir. Just now in my presentation also I explained. For the product specific EMIs, even for merchant or amount specific EMIs, aggregator can play the role which they are playing right now. For the product specific EMI, if you have tied up with multiple banks, you can populate the EMI plans real time through the API, through our API, and same can be displayed on the UPI app for the product specific EMI where you do SKU management and all. So it is there for aggregator as well. It's not like that we are moving all the advantage to issuer bank only. It is win-win situation for all the parties participating in UPI transaction flow.
Got it.
Each and every member in ecosystem will be happy. Trust me on this. So I think that's the answer. So customer value chain is the most important, and I think you are the important part. So you will remain.
Got it.
Okay. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you.